Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Here I am to present to you a reimagined landscape for our learning ecosystem. And are we going to be creating the school of the future? Are we the school of the future at the moment? Not yet. But I believe we can be there. If we're going to look at where we are now, where we need to be in terms of cloud computing, cloud storage, etc., 21st century learning, this is where we need to be moving to. Here is our current ecosystem. I've provided notes for all of these to everyone. We really want to be able to move from the physical, where everything is pen and paper, up into the cloud, where we are digital.
Back in the day, we used computer hard drives, CDs, and even floppy disks to store our data. Nowadays, however, we have the cloud. Woo! The future! But what is the cloud? Or more importantly, where does all of our stuff go? Cloud storage is essentially a virtual locker where you can remotely stash any of your data. So are all of those cat photos just hanging around up in the sky? Not quite. When you upload a file to a cloud-based service like Google Drive or iCloud, that file gets copied over the internet into a data server. Database servers are actual physical places where companies store your files on multiple hard drives. Most companies will have hundreds of these servers, known as server farms, spanning across multiple locations. So if one happens to get hit by an asteroid, you won't lose your data because it'll be backed up at another location. This is referred to as redundancy, and it keeps your data safe from being lost. Chances are you're already utilizing cloud computing if you use services like Gmail, which connects to Google Drive. Storage on Google Drive starts you at 15 gigabytes for free, but can be increased to as high as 30 terabytes for $300 a month. Services like iCloud, Dropbox, and Microsoft OneDrive offer similar monthly fees for higher storage capabilities. One huge benefit of cloud computing is that you can access data on any internet-capable device. And these days, what isn't connected to the internet, am I right? Also, remember a couple episodes ago when my computer exploded from that secret message I got?
Hello, Armand. This message will self-destruct.
Without the cloud, I would have lost all my files. Luckily, I backed up my hard drive the night before and was able to restore everything. Oh. This is getting really expensive. Of course, not everything is perfect, and there have been some problems with cloud storage in the past. In August 2014, a major iCloud hack led to the leaks of hundreds of private photos from various celebrities. However, cloud computing can be a great solution for freeing up space on your device, creating a seamless way to access your files, and a pretty good safeguard from the total destruction of your hardware.
So some of the benefits if we are going to go with 21st century learning and we are going to work in the cloud, you can see that we have knowledge sharing, on-demand training, formal training when necessary. We create tools that empower teachers in order to work. That is the environment that we're looking for, a completely reimagined environment for teachers to work in, and subsequently the learners. So let's have a look and see what we have in terms of the teachers. Flipped classrooms, webcasting and video chats, online assessment. The teacher is a guide, not standing on the stage teaching to everyone. Online content creation. Assessing creativity. Self-initiated professional development. The teacher is now a facilitator. All of these are 21st century teaching techniques. Sir Ken Robinson, in his book Creative Schools, identifies the fact that children and communities need a different sort of education, something completely different. So let's have a look. For the learner, as an example, they've got access to online storage, the communication, collaboration, assessments, everything is digital and online. They get to pull knowledge as and when they need it. Their social connections are on a far greater level. They have far more access to information than any of us ever did or than any library could provide. They are the facilitator of their own learning. Just seeing the statistics of internet usage and infiltration in many countries is enough of a reminder of how popular this medium actually is. Have a listen to this professor and his speech. It's actually very, very eye-opening.
And we tend to underestimate the size and nature of the internet. We just look at it as interconnected computers. Well, that's like saying a brain is interconnected neurons. It's not. What we're looking at over there are billions and billions of interconnected switches. We know what happens when you connect switches in billions together. We know what it does. It thinks. We don't know much about the internet from that point of view. We should examine that. So what's the future of pedagogy? We've got to allow spontaneous order as an official method inside schools. And I want to say something which will perhaps annoy some of you, which is I want to re-examine the emphasis on reading, writing, and arithmetic. There are 3 clerical skills. They were very important earlier. They probably are very important today. But if a child can point his phone at a piece of Japanese text, and the phone reads it out to him back in Arabic, can that child read Japanese or not? You say, no, he can't read Japanese. Well, let me put it this way. Child plus phone, if you consider that as a composite creature, that composite creature can read Japanese. Spending 20 years teaching him how to read Japanese using only his head is a bit of a pointless exercise. Writing. How many children are going to write by hand? Nobody. Arithmetic. You all know how to do 14.5% of 69 dirhams using paper and pencil. But if I gave you to do that, would anybody in this room take out a piece of paper? They would all pull out their phones. Why spend all those years? People say, so are you saying they're going to be blank brains with a phone? That's not the case. When you look at your phone, you learn continuously. The brain retains what it wants to retain, what it likes to retain. You will not get a moron if you allow the internet. You'll get the opposite. This picture shows the present educational system. And look at it, everything in that picture, except for the sleeping child, is obsolete. If you surround children with obsolete things from the 19th century, they sleep. So what should we do with curriculum? Well, the curriculum is full of obsolete stuff. You know, GCSE had a question, what is an oxbow lake? Now you tell me, if you go through life without knowing what an oxbow lake is, will it matter? I don't think so. I don't know why it's there in the first place. We've got to take out all that junk and put in new stuff. The internet has to be taught as a subject, like physics, chemistry, or biology. Networked systems have to be taught as a subject. Chaos and spontaneous order have to be taught as a subject. And we need to take out stuff to accommodate these. Lastly, just an example, the transportation industry. For 5,000 years, we went from place to place using the horse and cart. You got into back, you told the driver where to go, and he took you there. When the internal combustion engine was discovered, the horses went, but something else happened which was not expected. The passengers became the drivers, and the coachman went. And now, from next year, you can see one standing outside, the cars will drive themselves. One day, your grandchildren will ask you, what does driving mean? And you'll say, you know, there used to be cars, we had a wheel, we had a stick, we had 3 pedals, and we had to press the pedals and move the thing and move the wheel and the car would move. That's called driving. And your grandchild will say, don't be silly. So take it to the, I'm out of time, take it to our own subject, which is education. Well, I think it says it all up there. The coachman at the top left-hand corner, the passengers with the wheel in their hands, which is what I'm trying to do, and the next step, just around the corner, where that same grandchild will ask you a much more difficult question. He might ask you, what does it mean to say, I know? Okay, just think about that. So how will we design a new school? I think I have a vaguish idea. Let the internet in. The internet must permeate the education system. What does that mean? It means that the student will deal not with answers, but with questions. And learn the ability to find the answer just in time. Our education system is just in case. You're taught for 12 years things that just in case if you need it one day. We have to change it to an ability where if you have faced with a problem, you can use the internet and find the answer instantly. You know how to do that. If we can do that, we've probably reached the future of learning. Thank you.
And as I've said before in my essay that you have read, 25% will be physical, tangible, one-on-one time with the teacher, whereas 75% will actually be digital collaboration, video conferencing, submission of assessments, access to information, all online. Good news! Fewer school days, you are a guide and facilitator, 21st century teaching and better teaching times. It's definitely time for the school to move up to the cloud.